I'm the owner and artisan at NTS Design Co. I go live with you guys every Wednesday morning here on the Dixie Belle YouTube page to do some fun painting tutorials, and so you can learn some cool stuff. All of the things that I'll be using today you can find on the Dixie Belle website. If you go to Dixie Belle website and you click on the left-hand corner, it'll say find a retailer. You can type in your zip code and they'll show all of the retailers that are in your area. This time of year, they're doing some fun Christmas projects, I'm sure. They have a lot of workshops. You can always sign up for a lot of those. A lot of the retailers are really amazing that way. And they have all of the products that you could ever imagine that is Dixie Belle, and they're very knowledgeable. So if you have any questions, you can definitely ask there. As you guys are popping on, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I will be happy to answer any paint-related questions, any Dixie Belle related questions. You can just drop them in a comment section below and I will be happy to do that. Hey Patty, how are you this morning? This morning, my shop, as you can tell, I'm very limited on space. I just picked up a 5-piece gigantic bedroom set, and it's the end of the year, so I'm just doing some small projects right now. Not really working on anything major because I'm limited on space. I have tires in my shop and lots of furniture. And as I just cleaned the shop out last week, it is already full. So anyway, I will not be live with you guys next week. I'll be on vacation, and then the following week is Christmas. So this is my last live until after the Christmas holiday. So soak it up. No, I'm just kidding. So today's project will be starting a side table that is not the most amazing piece of furniture, but it has some interest, and that's why I picked them up. I have a set of 2. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them. The other tabletop is broken and chipped and just not in the best condition ever. But here she is. She's just a little side table, probably from the 80s, early 90s. I don't know. It's that chunky style furniture. But I thought it would look really pretty black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this down, stain these 2 with the no paint gel stain. I'm definitely gonna do that in a darker color, maybe espresso, I'm not quite sure. And then I'm going to be painting these black because it's my favorite freaking color. And I love the Dixie Belle Silk Anchor. So for like these one and done pieces of furniture that I'm not gonna be doing anything too crazy to, I often do the silk paint just because it is an easy all over finish. The chalk mineral paint I love, but it is more of a blending paint for me other than like just a one and done. This is just easy. It has top coat priming capabilities, all of the things, this is your all-in-one paints, which is hence the name Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint. Dixie Belle just dropped cleaner. Now you can still get the granule cleaner. I'm lazy and I like things that are made for me already, so I don't have to measure and guess and do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm very pleased that Dixie Belle came out with this White Lightning spray. Now, again, you can make it yourself and it will last 1,000 times longer than this spray bottle will. But for me, I'm all about what's easy. So we're gonna be cleaning this piece of furniture because it's been sitting in my shop and it's been sitting in a barn at a girlfriend of mine's for God knows how many years. She was gracious enough to call me a couple weeks ago and say, hey, I have a bunch of furniture, come look. So I grabbed this and a couple of other pieces that I think I've already done already. So this is the last of that. And then, like I said, the giant saran wrapped chest behind me has a long dresser and 2 nightstands that are gargantuan. I will be spraying those. That is going to be something that I will be doing one of the smaller pieces with you here on YouTube. I will be spraying that in driftwood, which is a chalk mineral paint. I will be showing you how to prime it, I'll be spraying the entire thing. So we'll be using my Wagner sprayer for that, and I'll show you the ratios and things like that. And I'm not the greatest with my sprayer because honestly, I don't really spray furniture. I paint everything. I just prefer a brush, but you guys can learn with me and we'll make mistakes together and we'll figure it out, right? So why not? I'll definitely be reaching out to Wagner and asking them what the ratio on paint to water. And I have a girlfriend that lives down the street that she just strictly sprays all of her furniture. So I'll be asking her too. So, but yes, that's what we're going to be doing these next couple of weeks. Again, I will not be here next week. I will not be here the following week. So this is my last one until the holiday. So let's get to it. What you're gonna need to clean your piece of furniture is you're going to need water and a spray bottle, all right? That's to rinse. You're going to need some sort of cleaner. Again, we'll be using the White Lightning in this spray bottle, which I love. These are heavy duty spray bottles. Like, I am notorious for going to the dollar store and just grabbing one. I drop stuff like 1,000 times a day. So this is good. It's a better bottle. It's gonna last more than just, you know, one drop and break and spill out everywhere. All right, I always use gloves because I don't want these chemicals on my hands. And plus, I don't know what was on that piece of furniture, and I don't want that on my hands either. And I already got a splinter from it, so we're just gonna go with that. All right, you're also gonna need some paper towels. You need to wipe it off somehow, correct? So paper towels, cleaner, water. I do need a paintbrush. Hold on one second. I gotta get a brush so that we can paint this baby. All right, we are gonna go with what I have. And don't mind my nose running, it's freezing in my shop, hence the beanie. We're gonna be using my oval small to paint the brush because it has all these little like legs, and we're not painting the flat parts. So these little guys are amazing to have when you need that done. All right, let's go. Get your sprayer, make sure that it is on the on position. Okay, we're gonna move her here. All right, you can see her sister in the back that I already sanded the top off of and realized there was some prominent damage to it, so I'm gonna be having to fill that with wood filler. I can't use Dixie mud with that because I won't be painting it, I'll be staining it. So I often use wood filler, and then I have some wood stain markers that I color it in. Otherwise, your wood filler, it's gonna highlight that one spot because it doesn't have the grain, so you wanna fake the grain. I can show you guys how to do that too as well later on. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna spray her down. And this, I'm going to tell you right now, is a bleeder. We will not be painting this white, and I will show you why in 2 seconds. Often a lot of your furniture, when you wipe it off, it will come back red. That is the finish or the dirt or any of those things that are on your piece of furniture. So like I said, we're just gonna use some towel. We're gonna clean this off really good. Wipe her down. We have no idea what's been on her, where she lived, what her life was before me. All right, she's definitely quite dirty. She's not bleeding as much as I thought she would. The other one probably will because I've already sanded that. I will not be sanding this one where I will be painting it. I'm just gonna paint right on top of it. It's just a little side table. This area doesn't get much wear and tear on it. If I was doing the tabletop, I definitely would sand. Like I said, I already am going to be sanding that, but I mean, just look at that. Just from wiping it off, it already shows how pretty this is. Okay, so there's that. You don't want to breathe this in, so if you want to wear a mask, you can, or just don't get close enough to get it in your lungs. Okay, again, very dirty. This is why we clean our furniture. We're gonna turn her, clean her again. You can use a rag, you can use paper towel, you can use a sponge, you can use a brush, you could use your shirt. You can use whatever you want. I'm using paper towel. All right, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments. Making sure I get the backs of this. All right, and we're gonna rinse it off, so I'm not terribly concerned about getting it perfectly perfect. All right, let's spray this last side. I think that's the last side. Maybe not. If you don't get your cleaner out and scrub your piece of furniture, your paint's not going to stick as well as it should because there may be oil on this, there may be dirt and grime and all of the things on this that will not give you good adhesion. You always want to make sure for good paint adhesion, because if not, then you've wasted all your time and your piece of furniture looks beautiful until you touch it. So just be sure to get all of the things, get it nice and clean, scrub it up, gets a nice little bath. Paper towel is very loved at this point. Anywhere your paint is going to be, you're going to wash it off. Okay, so there's that, right? We're going to turn our sprayer off, put our sprayer somewhere where I'm not going to drop it. We're going to grab our water. You want to soak this guy down with that water because you want all that cleaner off, right? We don't want to leave the cleaner on the piece of furniture. As I just said, is a TSP cleaner. She's good and soaked. We're gonna grab some more paper towels. I'm almost out of paper towels. And we're gonna dry her off. You could do this a couple of times if you wanted to, just to ensure that it's perfectly clean. Don't mind my fuzzy slippers, it's cold. I don't have heat in my shop because I literally only need it like maybe 5 or 6 times a year. And to me, it's not worth it. Although I have looked into it. So they make these heaters that you can hang from your ceiling and they're hardwired in. Because I have a split unit, but it only does AC, it doesn't do heat. So I've looked into that. And they're a couple $100s, and you have a couple $100 for your electrician to come out here. And like I said, for me to actually utilize the heater really doesn't make sense. I just don't work out in the shop when it's super cold. It's rainy and cold out here. It's another thing. It's super humid here when it does that. So paint adhesion is not the easiest thing to get. Dry times can vary. So you want to make sure wherever you live that you account for that, okay? Otherwise, your stuff isn't going to work the way that you want it. So I hope everybody had a good week and did some fun stuff. We went and saw Christmas lights, which was amazing. I got this giant set of furniture. Again, amazing, super happy. All right, that's done. Take my gloves off. Some people paint with gloves on. That's fine. You can if you want to. I choose not to. I should because I always get paint everywhere. I'm going to try not to get paint on my pants today because I actually like these pants. I grabbed the wrong ones and I was too lazy to change. All right, so we're going to grab our silk paint. You can mix it if you want to. I don't think this one's been opened, so I'm just going to give it a good shake. I finally put my Christmas tree up. Bah humbug on that. I swear it was the latest ever. I usually put it up way earlier. All right, so this is a brand new paint can. It's a paper towel so I can lay my lid on it. We're going to pull that lid off, and I'm just going to lay that baby down so I don't make a mess. I'm gonna grab my paintbrush. I'm gonna grab my spray, our brush with our water. We're gonna move it around on our hand so that there's nothing left inside the brush. That just ensures that there's just nothing in there that's gonna get on my piece of furniture. And I like to paint with a damp brush. You don't need to use water with silk paint. It's a force of habit for me, and I just like to do it. So there is that. All right, so we're gonna take our silk paint and we're gonna start over here. I'm gonna drop you guys down just a smidge so that you guys have a better view. Don't mind my messy garage. All right. And now we shall paint. So I'm just going to dip in to my silk paint and have about that much on there. And if it's a little transparent, that's okay. This is just my first coat of paint. And with your first coat of paint, I'm just looking for adhesion. This is where I'm trying not to fling it all over myself. Okay, you can grab your paintbrush, offload it. There's a lip here. These brushes are great for edge work. I tend not to tape my furniture unless absolutely have to. I get a lot of grief for that on the internet. People like to complain about everything. I have learned that. If there is something to complain about, people are going to do it. All right, so let's get the backs of these little legs. I'm not going to be painting this. Like I said, I'm going to be sanding that and staining it. It's going to be beautiful. I figured the dark on these legs would be super fun. Just want to modernize it because I feel like with this, it just screams 1980 log cabin. You know those pieces of furniture that were like velour with like trees and deer on it? Like I know my grandparents had a set. I'm pretty sure my parents had a set too. That's what this screams. But I feel like if I paint it black and I stain it and I modernize it, it's going to look more mid-century modern than anything. And that's kind of my vibe here lately. I've been banging out a lot of mid-century modern pieces. They're just fun for me. They're easy to find in my area. I know every area is more specific on like what kind of furniture you can find there. So what kind of furniture do you find in your area that you like to do? I'd like to know. I will flip this over and get the underneath side of this. Won't be doing that on a live, but I do that. This is just a quick little one and done. Get this paint on. I probably will do a couple coats of paint on her. Since she is such a thin on here right now, I'll probably do 3. So 2 full coats of paint, and then I'll do a 3rd coat and just kind of see where I need the paint to be. Okay, turn her this way. Again, not a lot of paint. And if you guys are just popping on, this is the Silk All-in-One in Anchor, which is my favorite black. They have black sands too in the Silk line, but for some reason, this Anchor just happens to be my favorite. It's very classic. When I think black, this is what I think of. And this brush makes it so much easier to paint these spindles. Okay, and then we come up in here. Again, I'll flip this table over and get all the underneath, all my edges. And we're just gonna paint away. If you're worried about paint drips and things like that, you just come in really light with your paint, and then you can avoid that. You can totally see through what I'm painting. It's very translucent, but I'm giving this piece of furniture something to grip to. So my first coat of paint is just getting it on there, and my second coat of paint will be for more for full coverage. My third coat of paint will be for areas that I've missed, and just to kind of like spot. Like say I missed a piece here, I'll just come back and do that. I won't have to repaint the entire leg. This paint is really good for that. Some paint, you have to repaint the entire thing. Thankfully enough, Dixie Belle, you don't have to do that. You can just go ahead and paint over what you've already painted. To me, that is a huge time saver. Just gonna grab the back of this. While we're sitting right here. And again, like you said, you can see through this, but isn't that such a difference in comparison? I love her. It's such a pretty color. All right, now we're gonna grab this edge again. So we're gonna come in, pull her in so you can see. We're just gonna grab our paintbrush. We're gonna offload on both sides. And we're gonna come right up to that edge. There's a little lip, so it makes it a lot easier. A lot of the pieces of furniture do have lips, which is why I don't really feel the need to tape it. And I also do this part first, so even if I got paint up here, I'm gonna sand that off anyway, so I don't have to be extremely careful. I don't wanna blob it off or have it so it's dripping down, but at the same time, I don't have to be super perfect. Okay, we're gonna turn her this way. And we're going to do the same thing. Offload on both sides. Snug it up to that edge and slowly drag. That's why I love Dixie Belle paintbrushes, because they're amazing. They bounce back. I've had this, you can tell I've had this brush forever, and it paints just as good as the day that I got it. As long as you take care of your paintbrushes, they'll last. It is a good investment to have. You want to make sure that you clean your brushes as soon as you're done painting. I am guilty for not doing that, But if you clean it with the scrubby soap, you can get scrubby soap on the Dixie Belle website. It's great. It's a soap that smells amazing. It's all natural. It has a little sponge in it, so you can offload all that paint on your brush and get all the crusty little things that may or may not have dried on your brush. And it smells amazing. I definitely recommend using this scrubby soap to clean your brushes. Highly recommend. It is the only thing that I use to clean my brushes since I started painting. If I run out and I have to use Dawn or something like that, I am sad because my brushes definitely do not get as clean as they should. So again, very little paint. You can paint however you want, but that last stroke should be nice and smooth just to make sure that you're getting all of your edges and everything else. Again, I'm going to be staining all of that, so that's going to be pretty. We're going to turn her. Scrubby soap is the best. Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. All right. We're going to come back. Again, not a lot. I can't see what I'm doing under here, so I'm just painting blindly, but when I flip my piece of furniture over, I'll be able to get all those pieces that I've missed. Okay. Again, about that much. Because I paint with so little paint, by the time that I go around this piece of furniture, 9 times out of 10, it's dry already, and I can just go ahead with my second coat. If not, you want to make sure that you let your paint completely dry before you do that, because you can reactivate it and it can pull your paint. But if you are live like me and you're super careful, you can go ahead. Get underneath there. I didn't fix any of the scratches or the dents or anything like that. Like I said, this piece of furniture is really old, and it's not like, oh my gosh, it's not antique old where it's really cool. It's just an interesting piece of furniture that I barely paid for. So it was just something that I thought would be a fun tutorial piece. Okay, I can already see that I have missed that part right there. So we're gonna come back. This is where full circle, we came back all the way around. I'm gonna grab what's wet over here. I'm painting the other side. And just do that once over. I'm gonna come back around on my edge. Second coat of paint. Has more coverage. Okay, you can see how much darker that is. And this piece is still really wet due to the humidity today because it is storming outside here. So I'm not going to be able to do a second coat on her, but I can, as you can see, I've missed a lot of the areas. It's hard to tell when you're painting. So we'll just come back around and just any areas that I've missed, we'll just come back and grab. Okay, I'll just spin her around a couple more times. Missed you right here. And the lighting isn't the greatest right now. I need better light in here. I've needed better light in here for years, but I just have those little Harbor Freight shop lights in here that do pretty good. I just touched all that paint. Grab a rag. I always have these bag of rags on hand, which are amazing for times when you touch paint and you don't want to wipe it off on your pants because you're wearing good pants today. So we're just gonna spray our fingers. we're gonna wash our hands here. All right, there we go. Just like that. And then we're just gonna, like I said, check and make sure I haven't missed any areas, but she looks pretty good. I mean, this is just like a quick little once over, and it definitely looks a lot better than she did. We're sanding this down, sanding this down, sanding these edges. My Festool sander has the triangle piece so I can get into these tight little areas. I'll be flipping her over, painting the undersides and the inside of the back, and she'll look amazing. I can't sand live. I've had people ask me what kind of sanding system I use, and for more information on that, I can go ahead and give you information on it, but it's not something I can really do live because it's very loud and it's not very fun to listen to, because you're not going to be able to hear me, and I wear ear protection for that. So there she is, our quick little once over little table. I'll keep her posted. I'll show you guys when I come back in 2 weeks, I'll show you what she looks like finished. I'll have both of the two finished. So just a quick little demonstration today. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Dixie Belle, thank you so much for having me each week. I greatly appreciate that, having the opportunity to teach you guys and to hang out and teach you fun things. So if you have any comments, just go ahead and drop them below, and I'd be happy to answer any Dixie Belle Paint related questions that you may have. If you don't already, I would be honored if you followed me. NTS Design Co. on all social media platforms is where you'll be able to find me. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye, you guys.